No. This is, I swear, Kyle McCord was wearing shade. He had to, it was something, man. He was blinded. I mean, he got he got the green mist in the eyes. He wasn't seeing those Pitt defenders. The guy had 3 pick sixes. 3 pick sixes. I can't even make this up. I looked up at the tee. I was at the gym last Thursday night and I was like, what the fuck is this? I thought it was the fourth quarter. I'm like, okay, maybe it's a blowout. It was like 35-0. I'm like, oh shit, okay. I thought Syracuse would be a lot more competitive. Wrong. It was the fucking first half. It was like, what is this? What is this Mickey Mouse shit?
He was totally Donald Ducking it.
Yeah. Bombs away, fucking, yeah, five, yeah, look at the stat line. He did get Jay 15 fantasy points in his defense, and that's just because the passing yards. He got 321 passing yards and 1 rushing touchdown. So he salvaged it a little bit if you had him in fantasy. But the 5 interceptions is just for a guy at his level. I mean, Kyle McCord is one of the leading, in terms of passing yards. He's like a top 5 quarterback in the country. It's beneath him at his level and his skill set to be having 5 interceptions. Just pathetic. But throughout the year, a little bit under 64% passing, almost 2,500 yards. So he's probably still 5th or 6th in the country. I'd have to double check on that in passing yards. 19 passing touchdowns. The interceptions, I need to take these off so I can see this. My God. Look at this. He coming into the game, he had 19-6, and now it's 19-11. One more 5 interception game, and he'll probably lead the country with 16 picks. Just awful. Just awful. And you wonder why Ohio State let him go. Sometimes like he's played great. He's played great for Syracuse this year. They've been very competitive, beat UNLV, which is a damn good team in my view. I mean, he's looked good, really good at times, throwing the ball, he's been slinging it everywhere. But I mean, this was trash. I mean, this was absolute trash. And on the flip side, because this dummy had 5 interceptions, if you had shares or used props or anything for Desmond Reed, he was useless. He was useless.
I got it. I know
What's
who
that?
this guy. I know who this guy represents. This is a Kirk Cousins reborn.
Yeah, he is. He even looks like him. Same size. Can't move.
So I mean this thing about like the yards wise. I mean, he's got 700 300-yard games. I mean, I think the only downfall with him, I mean, Pitt. I had to go back and kind of skim over the game here real quick. But I mean, the Pitt's D was actually, the offensive line could not hold up to their defense, so they were rushing him, bull rushing him. So he was making some indecisive
horrible decisions.
Yeah, some horrible decisions, tossing the ball into tight situations, and a lot of it. One of them, he was actually trying to throw a dump off to the running back, but it hit him in the back of the pads. The freaking defender, the Pitt's D saw it, grabbed it, snagged it, ran in for a touchdown. So I'm just like, I mean, the game wasn't that bad. Okay, I mean, there were some good plays in there, some good intermediate catches from some of the wide receivers. Don't get me wrong about that. I mean, I guess this is gonna put it this way. I mean, this is a good check me game for McCord. You're like, all right, dude, I can't be throwing interceptions like this anymore. I gotta tone that down a little bit. Toss it, a little bit. Make some good decisions when it comes to the ball. Tossing the ball down the field, even if it's he's like, okay, not a good read. It's going to a second read. I mean, he has been good. I mean, he's only had. I mean, besides this 5 interception game. I mean, he's only tossed, like 4 games. There was a couple games where he tossed two interceptions back to back. But I mean, other than that, I mean, the touchdowns they haven't been that many. Not that many, not that much. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, and there's, there's a lot of these players that I like. Like the cupboard's not bare at Syracuse. They got some decent skill position guys. I'm about ready to cough up the bullshit.
What? Welcome to my nightmare.
Yeah, this was my nightmare. Crying on the inside. You thought that was a little Thought that was a little dark and ominous. Well, wait till you see. Yeah, wait till you see this. Look who's been blacklisted. I got the marker here. Just isn't that like in pirate lore? Isn't that like a bad thing if somebody gives you a piece of paper with an X on it? Does that mean like death or something? Because I think that's what happened to Luther Burden. I think he got the little X on the sheet before the season started. Because I don't know what the hell is going on with him. He's not hurt. Kind of an Ollie Gordon. He's like the Ollie Gordon of receivers. Okay, he's still probably going to be at the worst probably a second round pick. In the 2025 NFL draft. But god damn, Eli, number 32 fantasy receiver. He's not having too bad of a year. He was number one. He was number one, almost universal. Maybe he had a few pundits that had like T-Mac or a couple other guys, but Luther Burden, I mean, he was the belle of the ball. He was everybody's darling before the year. If you looked at any of the college fantasy material magazines, anything, you saw Missouri before the year. It wasn't Brady Cook on the programs. It wasn't Can't even think of the other running back right now. But it wasn't any of those guys. It was fucking Luther Burden. Oh, Carroll. Carroll, the other running back. Yeah, it wasn't any of these guys on the front brochure. If you were a Missouri fan, it was Luther Burden. Let me go over the stats here because I'm getting sick just talking about it. I was Kyle McCord. Now I'm getting downright ill. So far this year, he's been efficient. I mean, if you think about it, like 40 catches on 54 targets, that's not terrible. So he's catching most of the stuff coming his way. But 4 touchdowns, that's beneath him. 450 yards, 4 touchdowns, only a little over 11 yards a catch. That's just where he was being hyped at. If this was like like a random Arkansas, maybe the Arkansas number 2 receiver, nobody would say anything, right? This would just be decent year, But like, dude, he was number 1 on a lot of people's draft boards for receiver. Like some people had him over T-Mac.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it was him and T-Mac were the guys first coming off the boards. Then I think there was like Jaden Royals, from Utah. He was another guy that was kind of coming off the board. Yeah. So pretty much, if you think about it, Luther's only had 100-yard game on the season, and he only has 4 touchdowns. I mean, that's kind of sad. That's kind of sad.
2 fumbles. Yeah. He's got more fumbles than he does 100-yard games this year. And you know what? And we're calling him out tonight because last year, 86 catches on 122 targets, which 122 targets that's a damn good number for a college receiver. I mean, this ain't fucking Justin Jefferson here. This is a college receiver getting that many looks. Had over 1,200 yards receiving, 9 touchdowns. The touchdowns were a little low. So, I mean, maybe if he has a couple big games, he can still get to that number, this year and match that. But the yards per catch, almost 3 yards more per catch last year. And then instead of 1 game, he had 6 games over 100 yards. And, he was that's nothing to snuff at. He was the first team all SEC receiver. He was one of the top guys in the conference. He was on draft boards. They had him as almost a consensus top 10 pick. So it's just been, Missouri. You even blame it on whatever. Okay, Missouri. They're still a mid-pack SEC. Sometimes upper mid-pack SEC team. They got players there. Okay,
think about what he did last. Think about what he did last year. He had at least 5 or 6, 100-yard games at least last year. I mean, there shouldn't have been that. There shouldn't have been that much that has changed with him and the offense. But I mean, besides bringing in a couple of transfers here and there, you would think that Luther would be like, all right, I'm still going to ball out. I don't. Maybe unless he's maybe just toning it down so he doesn't get hurt for the NFL draft. I mean, maybe that's it.
That's the only thing I can think of. It's like him and Ollie are like, well, we know we're worst case scenario, we're day 2 guys. Like we don't need to try too hard here. We're not going to the playoffs.
maybe that is the case. So, if, with seeing, low productions and, the numbers and stuff like that, maybe they're only putting out there what they want scouts to see. They're kind of like, all right, well, here's what I can kind of do. You saw my last year's tape. You can look at that. This year I don't really have to try too hard. I don't. I don't. Maybe that is the case when it comes to fantasy. I mean, just thinking about that in general, he's last year was better than what this year was. So I mean, they brought in Marcus Carroll from um, I think it was at Georgia State. So I figured he would have had a little, some, not attitude, but I figured he would have brought some game to their, rush game to their offense. That really hasn't been really there at all either. So I had high hopes for him, but it's not that great.
You can speculate. We don't have insider information, obviously. Like we're not boys with like, hey, Missouri wide receiver coach, what's going on with Luther? Hey, we're not DMing, hey Luther, why's your production down? So we don't have any insider information. This is just from an outsider's perspective, fantasy owners, ourselves included. I don't have any, luckily I don't have any shares of Luther, but I've noticed I've been keeping tabs on him. I saw him muff a punt in like I forget which SEC game it was, but I know it cost them. I think Missouri ended up losing that game. He muffed a punt. Just a lot of like boneheaded moves by a guy that, I mean, he was so smooth last year. It's like Ollie. It's just like it's like he fell off. A lot of guys ascend. You think about it. Like I know he had his baseline was like a little over 1,200 yards. Sometimes when a guy pops his like junior senior year, his sophomore junior year is like something along the lines of maybe 700, like Malik Neighbors. Didn't he have like 700 yards or something in 2022? Like something like that. And then 2023, he just exploded. He had his monster year, and then obviously he was drafted, by the Giants. But yes, please help the cause. Like, subscribe, do all that stuff. Helps the YouTube algorithms, helps us out. Spread the good word if you like our stuff. If you know anybody in your family, friends, anybody that follows this stuff. I mean, we're passionate guys, and I'm very passionate about Luther Burden because he's been junk. He's been terrible. To me, he's the Ollie. Like Ollie Gordon's been playing, and he's had a few moments here and there. Like Luther's had a few moments. Like that Vanderbilt game was pretty damn good, but just not up to snuff. Just not up to par where he should be. In that probably 1,400 yards at the end of the year, we should be looking up. Okay, this guy's got 1,400 yards, 12, like 11, 12 touchdowns. That's what we should be looking at.
Yeah, I mean 12, 1,200, maybe 6, 7 touchdowns. If that or whatever it is. I mean, he should be having more than what he, this 4 touchdowns. I mean, this Mizzou's offense is actually ranked too. And I think they're 24th or something. So I mean, if they lose this, I mean, they're out of the top 25. They're skimming. They're skimming. They're just kind of like they're kind of on the same line as Michigan is. I mean, Michigan was on the they've been ranked for so long, and they're like, okay, well, this team doesn't. I mean, they're not a ranked fucking team. I mean, all right, it's time to get Mizzou up out of here. Let's get some different teams up here that are that are playing better. Hell, I'd rather see freaking Tulane up here than freaking Mizzou. People be like, oh well, Mizzou's better than Tulane. I mean, yeah, different conferences.
Not right now. Not with the way Noel and Carroll don't scare me in the backfield. The quarterback's iffy. Luther ain't playing very well. Like, who scares you on on the Missouri offense? I mean, I think I think K-State's better than Missouri. So I think Tulane could actually beat Missouri. If there was like a bowl game right now, neutral site, Tulane would beat Missouri. I'm sure of that.
I actually love the running back from Tulane. I mean, the running back from Tulane.
He should be getting more love nationally than fucking this guy. But he's blacklisted, and he's going to the NFL anyway. So I don't, what's he have left in his college? We know he ain't playing. Jay, we know he ain't playing the bowl game. So what he has four, maybe 5 games left in his college career. So he's blacklisted. X marks the spot. Get him out of here.
It says play me.
But he wanted to be played.
Play me. Bye, Felicia. All right. Enough of that. You want to get into some waivers, Jay?
Yeah, I think that's our so we recapped all of our week 9, Eli's gold star, dud, and player blacklist player. All these will be time coded too. So if you actually just missed our show, you can go back and hit those time codes, and if you want to just select different things throughout our stream here later on after it has ended, you can go do so. So we appreciate it if you guys are liking what you're seeing. Give us a like and subscribe. Hit that bell up there. So I mean we're at 139 right now. I mean, if you guys are viewing, just go over, give us a sub if you like what you're seeing. So I mean, we
Get them up.
appreciate it.
Get them up.
Yeah, we're doing this organically. We're not trying to push out there. So I mean, we're just doing this organically. So hopefully down the road this will be bigger and better show. More, who knows? Maybe more people. I mean, who knows what it could be? So, but if you're liking it, we appreciate you being here.
Come and knock on our door. We've been waiting for you. There we go. There we go. That's why you're here. That's why you came to the dance. That's why you brought your part. About to do a little square dance in here.